Hi students, this is Anusha working as a assistant professor in Vijnan Institute of Information Technology in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Today in this lecture I would like to discuss about one of the clustering technique, Gaussian mixture model. In previous lecture I discussed about K-means algorithm. Today I would like to start with some of the limitations of the K-means clustering algorithm. Let us see. Here the first disadvantage of the K-means clustering algorithm is hardly assignment of the data points to a clusters, which means here the data points are assigned to each cluster either completely or not at all, which means suppose I have 5 data points, out of 5 data points 3 are assigned to the one cluster and 2 are assigned to the another cluster, means here the point either completely assigned to a one cluster or not at all. Here the not at all in the sense of outliers of the data. This is the one disadvantage of the K-means clustering algorithm. Let's see another disadvantage of the K-means clustering algorithm, that is the K-means clustering algorithm is not a probabilistic model, means here there is no notion of the fractional distribution of the data points to a cluster, means that is there is no probabilistic assignment of the data points to each cluster. Let's say I am taking the k value is 3, means here we have the 3 number of clusters. For a data, let us consider the one data point x. For this data point x, for example, this is the outlier data point x. Here as we know in K-means clustering algorithm there is no fractional assignment of the data points to a cluster, but here it is possible, like some P1 is equal to 0.7, P2 is equal to 0.1 and P3 is equal to 0.2. In this way I am assigning this data point to the each cluster, means here we have the 3 clusters. So for 3 clusters I am distributing this point in this probability, means here suppose I am taking the P1 is equal to 0.7, means 70% of the part of the x point is belongs to the cluster 1 and 10% of the part of the x point belongs to the cluster 2 and 20% of the part of the x point belongs to the cluster 3. This is for the 3 number of clusters. Suppose if I am taking the k value is 2, then we have the 2 number of clusters, then I can distribute that particular data point x like some P1 is equal to 0.4 and P2 is equal to 0.6. Finally we will get the sum value is 1. Why? Because this is the probability theory. Okay, in this way we are assigning probable. Here it is possible to assign the probabilistically, but here is not possible in K-means clustering. This is the another disadvantage of the K-means clustering. The next disadvantage of the K-means clustering algorithm is here the K-means clustering algorithm does not work when the clusters are not circular shaped, and that if the data is overlapping or the data points are not distributed equally. So means for example if we have the data set like this, here the data points are distributed some clumsy way. When the data points are distributed like this, the final clusters may not become like a circular shapes. So in this type of the data set the K-means clustering algorithm not accurately work. And also see here we have the 2 clusters on a particular data set. Here let us say this is the x cluster, this is the x cluster and this is the y cluster. Here some of the data points are distributed in x cluster and some of the data points are distributed in y cluster, and both the clusters that takes place at the center, one center place only. Here the whatever the data points we have at the center place, those are belongs to both the clusters, means here the some overlapping of the data is occur. When we get this overlapping of the data, then the K-means algorithm does not work accurately. So we have to move to avoid this all the disadvantage of the k-means clustering algorithm, means the probability assignment of the data points to a clusters, and for working of the arbitrary shapes of the clusters, we are going for the Gaussian mixture model. Let us see what is the Gaussian mixture model. Gaussian mixture model. Here the Gaussian mixture model, the shortcut of the Gaussian mixture model is GMM. GMM means Gaussian mixture model. It is also one of the unsupervised clustering technique. Here the clusters are built by using the number of Gaussian distributions with the help of Gaussian distributions. Here means here we are assuming the certain number of Gaussian distributions and that are represented as a clusters. Okay, as we are using the Gaussian distribution for constructing the clusters, here we have to calculate not only the mean like in the k-means clustering algorithm, but also calculate the variance. So in this Gaussian mixture model, we have to calculate both mean and covariance. Here mean, which is indicated by the mu, and variance is indicated by the sigma square. If we have the variance or standard deviation, we are indicated with sigma. Okay, here the mean used for calculating the centroid for a particular distribution, means here we are taking the mean is nothing but average of all the data points related to that particular distribution, and here the sigma square means covariance, which gives the how the data points which are spread in a particular distribution, means it specifies the size of that cluster. This is about the Gaussian mixture model. Now let's see one example for easy understanding of the Gaussian mixture model and how the Gaussian mixture model identify or assign the data points to each distribution probabilistically. See, here we are considering the one data set. This data set contains the three colors of the points, means it contains the three different types of the data points. One is the blue color, and second one is the green color, and third data points are the cyan color. Here the data set which contains the three different types of the data points. So this data set divided into three types of the distribution. Here we have the three different types of the distributions. One is indicated by the blue color, another one indicated by the cyan color, and another one indicated by the green color. Here let us take the red mark highlighted data point. This red mark highlighted data points we considered. Let us see here, see this data point only belongs to this blue color distribution only, means the probability distribution of this highlighted red color data point only belongs to a blue color cluster. So the probability of this distribution of this highlighted point is 1 for this blue color distribution, and the probability distribution of this highlighted blue color point for this cyan color cluster is 0, and the same way this blue color highlighted point belongs to a green color cluster is 0, means here the data point completely belongs to only blue color distribution only. And let us take the another example at another point. Here see here this highlighted point C, this is the blue color point, but this blue color point not completely belongs to this blue color cluster, means the sum of the part of this blue color point belongs to this blue color cluster, and the sum of the part belongs to this cyan color, means the probability distribution of this point belongs to a blue color distribution of the blue color cluster is, let us take some P1 is equal to 0.8. Why? Because it is more part belongs to the blue color cluster, and the some 20% of the 0.2% means 20% part of this color blue color point belongs to the cyan color. So the probability distribution of that highlighted point in this example is example to that cyan color is 0.2 means 20%, and the probability distribution of this point for this green color cluster is 0. Why? Because it is not at all belongs to this, or it is not near to this cluster. So, in this way the Gaussian mixture model distribute the particular points to a particular Gaussian distributions with some using some probability way. When we are dividing the clusters in Gaussian mixture model, we are mainly talking about the Gaussian distribution. Now let us see what is this Gaussian distribution. Here the Gaussian distribution also called normal distribution, and sometimes this normal distribution referred to as bell curve. Why? Because it is called bell curve or bell shaped curve. When we are plotting the graph for a probability density function for a particular Gaussian distribution, then we will get the bell shaped curve like this. That is why the normal distribution or Gaussian distribution sometimes referred to as bell shaped curve. Here now let us see the general definition of the Gaussian distribution. Here the Gaussian distribution is a continuous probability distribution that is symmetrically distribute the data points on both sides of the means. Here the mean act as a peak point or the top point, means it is act as a centroid for a particular Gaussian distribution, means this is the maximum probability of the point in a given series of data set, and the remaining series of the data is symmetrically distributing around this mean or this peak point like this. And here the width of this curve or the size of this curve or the size of the cluster or the size of a particular Gaussian distribution decided by this covariance or this variance. Now let us see mathematical expression for a Gaussian distribution. In this we have the two types of the Gaussian distributions. One is the univariant Gaussian distribution and second one is the multivariant Gaussian distribution. First let us see what is this univariant Gaussian distribution. When we are get the distribution in one dimensional space, then we call it as a univariant Gaussian distribution. Here for finding the probability density function for univariant Gaussian distribution, we are using this mathematical expression. Here this is the one of the random sample, means one of the data point in a given particular data set, and these are the mu and this is the covariance. For finding this value we are using these two parameters. So for calculating this the x value we are using this expression. This is 1 by square root of 2 pi sigma square, and if exponential, this is the exponential constant, exponential power minus x minus mu square by 2 sigma square. This is the formula we are using for calculating the univariant Gaussian distribution. Here mean, which indicates the average of all the data points in a particular distribution, and sigma, which is the covariance. In univariant here we are considering it as a variance. Here the variance are the standard deviation. This is used for finding the size of a given distribution, and the pi is the constant. All are familiar with this constant value 3.14159. Approximately we are taking this constant value, and here it is the exponential also a constant. Its approximation value is 2.71828. This is also we are considering as a some approximately. Now let us see what is univariant Gaussian distribution. Here the univariant Gaussian distribution means here it contains the mixture of Gaussian distributions. What happened if the multiple number of Gaussian distributions are happened? Now let us talk about multivariant Gaussian distribution. Here the multivariant Gaussian distribution means here we are getting the multiple number of Gaussian distributions. How can we calculate a probability density function for a multivariant Gaussian distributions? We are for finding that multivariant Gaussian distributions, we are using the Gaussian mixture function. Here the Gaussian mixture function is nothing but which is includes the mixture of Gaussians, all Gaussians which are equal to the total number of clusters formed on a particular given data set, and in the mixture of each Gaussian contains the some of the parameters. Those parameters are mean, covariance and probability distribution of the data points. Here the mu, this is the covariance. Here in this example we have the 3 clusters, means we have the 3 bell shaped curve, means here we get the multivariant Gaussian distributions. Here each Gaussian distribution it contains its own mean and covariance. Distribution 1 which contains the mu1 and sigma 1, and distribution 2 which contains the mu2 sigma 2, and distribution 3 which contains the mu3 and sigma 3. And here also the points in the one distribution are probabilistically distributed to the another distribution. This is about the multivariant Gaussian distribution. Now let's see mathematical expression for this multivariant Gaussian distribution. This is the mathematical expression for multivariant Gaussian distribution for finding the probability density function of a multivariant Gaussian distribution. This is the overall probability function of a probability of a Gaussian mixture function. This Gaussian mixture function which is includes the sum here k which is indicates the number of Gaussian distributions, and here pi k which is indicates the mixing coefficient. This mixing coefficient which contains the weights of all the components in a particular kth Gaussian distribution. Okay. This is the summation of product of mixing coefficients of the kth Gaussian distribution and multivariant Gaussian distribution of a kth distribution. Here this is the multivariant Gaussian distribution for a probability density function. For this we are using this formula. Here in probability density function of a multivariant Gaussian distribution function, this is the x is the sample variable. For finding this we are using these two parameters. Here mu is the mean, here sigma is the covariance matrix. While taking the univariant Gaussian distribution, there we are considering the only standard deviation. Here we are considering the covariance matrix. Why? Because this is the multivariant. Here for finding this x variable we are using this expression. This is the 1 by square root of 2 phi mod of sigma and exponential concept power of minus 1 by 2 transposition of the particular data point in a kth Gaussian distribution minus mean of a that kth Gaussian distribution into inverse of the covariance matrix of a particular kth distribution, and into x is the some data point in a kth distribution minus and mean of that kth distribution. In this way we are finding the Gaussian distributions by using this Gaussian mixture function or the Gaussian mixture model. Now let's see. In Gaussian mixture function we saw some of the parameters, those are mu and covariance matrix and covariance. How can we find these mu and covariance matrix? For finding these covariance and mean, we are using the one technique that is called the expectation maximization algorithm. Here the expectation maximization algorithm is nothing but it is a statistical algorithm for finding the right model parameters for a particular model. Here for finding these right model parameters, first of all the EM algorithm have to find the missing values for a complete. Here these missing values or the missing variables is nothing but latent variables. Here when we have the data which contains the missing values, then we can call it as the latent variables. For finding these latent variables, the EM algorithm contains the two steps. One is the EM step and another one is the M step. Here The EM algorithm finds these latent variables by using the existing data. By using existing data, let us see how it is found by using these two steps. The first step is the E step. The E step is nothing but expectation step. Expectation, the name itself indicates. Here in this step we are estimating the values of the missing variables by using the existing data and updating that missing values in this step. Means here we are guess the sum of the values for the missing variables or that for that latent variables. And the next step is the M step. Here the M step is nothing but maximization step. Here the maximization step. In this, the complete data will be generated by using the values of the previous E step values. This M step value updating the values of that latent variables, and after that updating the right model parameter values by using the complete generation of the data in M step. Now let's see the complete working process of the EM algorithm by using this flow chart. In this EM algorithm, let us start with initialization of the values. Here initialization of the values means here we are first initializing the missing variables by using the existing data. After that we have to go for the E step. In E step we are estimating the missing variable values means latent variable values by using this initialized existing data, and after finding the missing values of the latent variables, we are going for the next step, that is the M step. Here we are in this step the complete data is generated. After complete data is generated, this M step update the right model parameters for finding the new data points probability distribution, and finally after finding the right model parameters, if next we are checking the values are convergence or not, means if the values are matched or not. If the values are matched, then we are stopped to find. Otherwise again we have to go for the E step and then go for the M step. Iteratively we are doing until we are getting the convergence of the values. In this way the EM algorithm works. Now let us see the EM algorithm in Gaussian mixture model. In Gaussian mixture model, here we have to calculate, here we have the missing variables are mu, covariance and mixing coefficient. Those values we don't know. So that's why these are nothing but the latent variables for the Gaussian mixture model. So as we know in EM algorithm, the first step is initialization of the values for the latent variables or the missing values. Here, so in first step we have to our missing variables in our Gaussian mixture model are mu k. Here mu k is nothing but mean for a kth Gaussian distribution and covariance. This is the covariance matrix for the kth Gaussian distribution and mixing coefficient for the kth Gaussian distribution. After initializing these values by using the existing data, next we have to go for the E step for finding the guessing values for the latent variables. For finding the guessing values for the latent variables, we have to use this formula. Here it is the rho IC. Here rho IC is nothing but kth Gaussian or the cth Gaussian distribution latent variable. For finding this, we are using this formula. This is the ratio of the probability the particular ith point x belongs to a particular kth Gaussian distribution to the sum of probability of the particular data points belongs to a all Gaussian distributions. Now this can be mathematically this can be expressed as a phi c is the mixing coefficient for a kth Gaussian distribution, and this is the probability density function of a multivariate Gaussian distribution, means this is the ith point in a kth Gaussian distribution, and for this finding this we are using the kth Gaussian distribution mean value and This is the covariance matrix for the kth Gaussian distribution, and in denominator we have the summation of the all the data points of the all the Gaussian distributions. And next, after updating these latent variables, next we have to go for finding the right model parameters. For finding these right model parameters, we have to go for the M step, that is the maximization step. In maximization step, we have to update the right model parameters. Those are the mixing coefficient, mean and covariance. Here these values are updated by using these latent variables which are found in the E step. So, for finding the mixing coefficient, we are using the formula which is number of points assigned to the cluster divided by total number of points in a total data set. Next, for finding the mu value, for updating the mu value, we are using the mathematical expression like this. This is the summation of all the latent variables and product and that particular point in that kth Gaussian distribution divided by number of points assigned to a particular cluster or the particular kth Gaussian distribution. And for updating the covariance matrix, we are using this formula, that is summation of the latent variables for a particular data point in a particular cluster into and transposition of the particular data point in a particular Gaussian distribution minus and mu value of that particular Gaussian distribution into particular Gaussian distribution point minus mean value of the particular kth Gaussian distribution divided by number of points which are assigned to that particular kth Gaussian. These are the formulas which are used for updating the right parameters of the Gaussian mixture model, which are done in the M step of the EM algorithm. Next, by using this M step and E step values, we are finding the probability distribution of the distribution for the new points. We are repeating these steps until we are getting the convergence. For finding the convergence, we are using the log likelihood function. This is the formula we are using for finding the log likelihood function. This is the natural logarithm, and the probability of that particular data point, right point equal to summation of and logarithm of summation of and the product of that mixing coefficient of a particular Gaussian distribution and multivariate Gaussian distribution function for a particular point in a kth Gaussian distribution. This is the formula we are using for finding the log likelihood function, means for the convergence. If we get the convergence in this step, then we are stop this algorithm. Otherwise, again we are go for the E step and M step until we are these two steps are repeated until we are getting the convergence values for our right model parameters. And this is how the EM algorithm works in the Gaussian mixture model. And let us see the applications of the Gaussian mixture model. These are some of the real-time applications in which we are using the Gaussian mixture model. Here the first application is computer vision. Here the computer vision means how the computer can see and understand the digital images and videos. For arrangement of the digital images or the videos, we are using this Gaussian mixture model. Why? Because in that arrangement of the pictures or the videos, some of the pixels we are using, those pixels are distributed by using this Gaussian mixture model. The next real-time application is natural language processing. Here the natural language processing, which gives the interaction for the computer and the human by using some natural language. Behind the logic of this natural language processing technique is the Gaussian mixture model. Next application is quantitative genetics. In genetics field also we are using the Gaussian mixture model for finding the samples of the RNA from the different targets for finding the DNA for a particular person. And the next is the psychometrics, which is also in this also we are using the Gaussian mixture model for measuring the particular person behavior. The next is the structural engineering. In this also we are using the Gaussian mixture model. This is all about the Gaussian mixture model. These are the textbooks which are prescribed in your syllabus, and these are the reference books which are given in your syllabus for your get the better knowledge on this subject, and these are the references which are used for preparing this PPT. Thank you.